Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, we are once again a little bit higher today. And the E-mini, well, this is where things get a little interesting. So, yesterday we had a little bit of an up move. And then in the late evening, we had a bigger rally. I believe off of earnings, although I don't know. I never saw anything about who they're doing well with, but, this morning JP Morgan did their earnings and it wasn't super great. Jamie Dimon says shutdown could reduce economic growth to 0 this quarter if it continues. That would be bad. I hope that somebody gives in soon. Unfortunately, it sounds like that's not going to happen. Anyways, Treasuries up a little bit, but kind of just at the upper end of this range. So most likely scenario for us is to drop back down into the 30 area, which isn't too far away. So not a huge, great opportunity yet. I believe we have some news today, right? Oh, it's the PPI, of course.
Sweden had a very good economic
Almost forgot.
Well, the natural that growth slows, there is a clear slowdown.
So normally I would expect us to just fall back into the range, but because we have PPI, which is going to be a very important number, we could see some movement, and it's hard to predict. Although they're saying that it's going to be minus 0.1, it's normally 0.2. So if we saw like a minus 0.2, that would be really bad. Could send treasuries higher. We'll see. But it does look like producers seeing a bit of deflation, eh? Hey, when I move these charts over and I put them back, they don't I don't always get them aligned correctly again, and so it's starting to turn into a mess over here. Also got a new good new video about this Gillette ad. So maybe go check that out, share it around. Mostly clickbaiting, because the title of it is "Should you short Procter & Gamble?" and the answer is no. There's probably not a very good trade there. So it's kind of a little anticlimactic. But anyways, yeah, we should post the links. That would be a good idea. Interest rates. Let's see. Good morning. See everybody in there. Okay, let's post. So you post the links. Oh, there it is. There's that one. And I will post it in the stream channel too. And Twitch. Twitchy. All right. It shows up in the little chat widget 4 times because I posted it in both channels. What else we got? Well, let's put that. All right. Okay, good deal.
Jognich saying we had a slowdown in the economy. We were a bit uncertain about the way forward.
Yeah, pause this. Wants to run automatically. And what are they saying on the tweeters? Did Donald Trump tweet it all last night? Why is Nancy Pelosi getting paid when people who are working are not? Good question. Oh, because Nancy Pelosi hasn't been working. Ha ha ha. Funny. Oh, he's starting to hit them pretty hard. I'd have to say, remember I said that when the harder Democrats push for the president to capitulate, the more closer Donald Trump is to winning. Well, has that happened? Not so sure, because what I'm seeing now lately is that Donald Trump is tweeting about this quite a bit the past day or two, trying to hit Democrats for...
Equity news there, Walgreens and Microsoft teaming up on digital health corners.
He's trying to hit...
Microsoft selling Azure cloud services to Walgreens in a deal. Exact financial terms of that deal not being disclosed. Meanwhile, just a reminder, just under 3 minutes till the US data. Just a recap on the estimates. PPI month on month for December, look for reading of minus 1%. Core month on month, looking for reading of 2%. Year on year, look for reading of 2.5%. Whilst on the core year-on-year reading, looking for reading of 2.9%. US New York Fed manufacturing read for January, meanwhile, look for reading there of 10.0.
Anyways, it seems to me like...
For those PPI points, we may get the release of those via the website.
It seems to me that Donald Trump is tweeting about this a lot, and we haven't heard anything from the Democrats at all about the shutdown. So I'm kind of starting to wonder, maybe Donald Trump is feeling the pressure. Maybe Democrats just don't know what to do. I'm not quite sure. But nothing much has changed now, and I wonder at what point we get some change in this situation. Here's metals. Saw.
1 minute.
They're saying that move in gold yesterday sounds like it was just kind of trading. So I wonder. Okay. Not so much pulling as we would know. I mean, it's light, but they're not pulling to like 500s.
Ten seconds.
All right, here we go.
So New York Fed manufacturing in at 3.9, prior revised upwards 11.5. Month on month, PPI minus 0.2%, year on year 2.5%.
Okay, it was more negative than
Just
expected.
waiting on the core numbers there. Core numbers in now, month on month, core minus 0.1%, year on year core reading 2.7%, X trade 2.8%, X trade month on month a flat read. So to recap all those numbers for you, PPI month on month.
Even the core number was bad.
2% softer on the estimate of minus 0.1%. Core month on month minus 0.1%. Again, a miss on estimates of 2%. Year on year, in line with estimates in at 2.5%, with core year on year a miss on estimates of 2.9%, coming in at 2.7%. And the US New York Fed manufacturing read for Jan, quite a big miss there, coming in at 3.9 versus estimates of 10. But we did have an upward revision on the prior at 11.5.
Okay, so this could move up, although I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're not moving. Don't know what to think about that one, boys. Maybe, well, I mean, 20.5 is the top of the range, so we may move up from here, but you're not going to get very good risk for your money there. E-mini didn't move hardly at all either. Gold is moving up, though. Gold is definitely moving up. They did buy it. It was, the net was buying. I do think we're going to move up to the high of the day. Hey, good morning, IQ. Mm-mm-mm. 01. So there they took 01. A few stops at 01 half. I really do believe that that number would justify moving up to the high of the day, but I'm just not seeing the order flow that I would expect based off of that number, so I'm just gonna stay out here. Feel like I'm gonna regret it, but oh, and look at those big bids in the 5-year. Okay, so that's maybe a clue. Five-year up to its high of the day. It's still kind of like you're not getting good risk for your money, so. All right, they did get a down tick. Let's just let it go back and forth a little bit here.
Jognich, expect to raise the repo rate in the second half of the year. To repeat, expect to raise the repo rate in the second half of the year.
And right back down. Awfully fast. Okay, so there's this big old order here at 19.25. So what's going to happen? There was another one at 18.75, but that one is pulled just a little bit. You can see it stacking and pulling right there. I want to see this 19.5 go offer.
Jognich will continue to have a good economic development.
Nope, not yet. I really want to see that price go offer so we can see what the deal is. Come on. 10-year tick down. 30-year not too interested.
Jognich monetary policy will continue to be expansionary.
Okay. There's a good stack there at 01 half. 5-year ticked up. They're at the high again. Well, that 19 half is not going offer. Could be a clue to us. The E-mini is moving down now towards its lows of the overnight session. Now 19 and 3/4 is showing a decent bid as well. Should have hit that as soon as I saw that. So there's no way that you can get filled on the bid there.
Italy's 2035 bond is said to total 10 billion euros. So Italy, of course, coming back to market. Italy's 2035 bond said to total 10 billion euros.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Thanks. Oh, and it sends them to Discord now too. I don't know if I want it the bot to retweet things into Discord or not. Does it send it to all of the pages? Yeah, it
Choknish saying the
does.
rising underlying inflation pressure made it possible to hike the benchmark rate in December.
Well, I have to think about that. How we feel about that. But let's go and read. I'm not gonna take that now. Okay, so now you're getting stops. So really gave us a lot of good long signals there, and I was just a little bit too slow and cautious, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? It actually doesn't actually show me. Okay, but now that you got a stop run like that, a really bad idea to just FOMO into it. A really bad idea, actually.
Choknish saying we do not see Sweden heading into a downturn, but past the high point in the cycle.
Hot mama. I think they want more. There are definitely targets up there. I can see a good continuation trade coming out of this. But I'm a little... they've got to give me the right place. So let's see here. If I come here to Discord... Okay. I don't know. I'm going to change this so that it doesn't send it to the lobby and the equity indexes channel. Okay. Good deal. So there seems to be a little bit of hesitancy here at 03 just because there was a stop run.
I'm seeing a Guardian piece here, came out about 15 or so minutes ago after Brexit vote number 10 apparently drawing up secret contingency plans. That's Theresa May's EU's emissary, Ollie Robbins, has been working up secret contingency plans for cross-party talks aimed at testing MPs' backing for up to 6 different Brexit options were the Prime Minister to lose Tuesday's vote by a significant margin, The Guardian has learned. One approach being seriously considered is a period of negotiation that could be overseen by civil servants with the aim of testing which of up to 6 options could command a majority in the Commons. Put that full piece up for you. The final terms for Italy's 10 billion euro 2035 bond price at around 18 above BTPs.
Yeah, see. You could maybe hit into that with a stop order, but it's just not a good risk reward. Okay. Maybe that. Okay, so they're setting up a level break here. Really big one. So we'll see if they actually do it. They bought all 4,000 that was on bid. I think that they might, I don't know. I need to see ZB back up to the top, so maybe this isn't a good setup. They're not lined up right. Kind of seeing some orders come in through there too is a little interesting. The way the cells come in at 0.25. Maybe some people puking there or something. When you get a level rig, it's not unusual for it to go offer and sit there for a little bit. But then what you'll see is that the sellers aren't too anxious to step on the gas, and it'll tick back up, and then that bid will build and it'll break. Given the context, though, a level break to the upside is still a 50-50 proposition. So we had a good move up, but it wasn't like... Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was like trend A yet. They're absorbing a lot at 0.25. Equities are moving up a little bit. Okay, they're stacking at 0.25. There's an iceberg at 20.5 in the 5-year. I'd be careful, because if that goes offer, then we could get a deeper pullback. It's a little bit too much selling into icebergs, you know? I think somebody definitely is going long here. That's no guarantee that it's going to move up. But it's good to see that there's a big guy holding it and looking for more. Need to see the 30-year pop up here. Okay, so there we took a step up. Now they went through 0.35, only 674 to trade it. Oh, but it traded down a bit. But that's interesting. This could go for a lot more. Because when you get up to a high like that, it should not go bid that easily. There should be lots of people looking to take profits or sell the high, and there was not. So this looks like it's still all long. They're gonna work it around to see if they can get a level break here. They want stops for sure. Oh, yeah.
Seeing the release of the Philadelphia Fed Non-Manufacturing Regional Business Activity Index for December revised to 7.7 from 3.9. Firm Level Business Activity Index revised to 6.4 from 3. New Orders Index revised to 17.5 from 12.7. And meanwhile, the Full-Time Employment Index revised to 11.8 from 9.6, and lastly the Fed Wage and Benefit Cost Index revised to 30.7 from 28.7.
Okay, another tick up with very little resistance. Okay, they're at 0.45. They're still holding it. I think that as long as they, how do I would put this? You want to see something. Okay. Nah, I mean, no. So somebody was asking me about my trading rig, and I do have a pretty hefty computer, but that I built myself, but not necessarily for trading. But what I did do was I got like I forget what it's called. It's an Asus. It's the newer generation of sorry, not Asus, AMD. It's the newer generation of AMD 1800. And I put a really hefty CPU in it because I do a lot of computational backtesting. And when I was doing a back test to like, kind of curve fitting sort of a thing, that could run all night. And so the extra processing power made a big difference. So that's why I dumped the money into it. But the rest of it, like what you see here on the screen, I do have a second screen, but it's literally like a crappy flat panel that I found at DI, which is kind of like your Goodwill in Utah. So it was like a secondhand monitor for like $20. Then I have my other charts on. So I do have multiple monitors, but they're not nice ones or anything. And yeah, if you're trading though, the thing that I would put the most money into if you're building a new machine for trading is probably memory, because having all of these charts with cumulative delta stuff running, if I just pull this up really quick, I think that they're going to go for more, so I'm not too concerned about this yet. So if you see NinjaTrader right here is they're only actually using 300 megabytes right now, but I have like 2 gigs of RAM and I'm using 50% of it. I know some people, they put these volume profile indicators on every chart and they have like 14 charts and stuff. That takes up a lot of memory over the long run, and so the memory makes a difference. I wish I had 3 big TVs though.
Just a heads up, then just under 10 minutes.
There you go,
time
yeah.
At the top of the hour, get the release of the Canadian existing home sales month-to-month for December, looking for a reading of -1% against a prior read of -2.3.
Look at that. Look at that big old fatty order up at 08. Oh, I think they're going to keep going, I think. It might take a while, though. So what I'm seeing is it'll tick up, and then the robots will immediately take profits, and they'll tick back down.
Jocknich saying the latest inflation is exactly as we forecasted.
So when I see that, that's an indication to me that this could keep moving, because what it means is the robots are in complete buy mode, but they're only taking a tick. That's good rotation. That means that they can buy back in again at a higher price, and they'll just keep rotating in and out. Where I get concerned about it stopping is when we come up to a price and there's a huge iceberg is one. And now you got to be careful with the iceberg, because they often go through the iceberg for 2 or 3 ticks and then reverse. And sometimes you break the iceberg and it just leads to a bigger breakout. But the other one is just, it ticks up. They're not too, excited about it. and then at one price you finally see somebody
Saying the December
step up.
inflation read confirms the rising price pressure.
It would be like
We are seeing rising rents and the effect from the krona.
it would be like, say we tick up and we get that to 06507, and 07 is weak or looks like it's weak, but then somebody sells it and it ticks down and they put 2,000 on the offer, and even then they might buy back up into that 07, but at that point that is like a person sticking their neck out, and so that tends to be where I will tend to take it off. Are you trading live? Also, why you're only trading one lot? Well, so I do not tell you guys anymore whether I'm trading live or sim, because I don't want to get hunted, and because really it doesn't matter. So, for a long time,
There's good indications that inflation will remain around 2%.
I'll see, there's an iceberg at 045. For a long time, I did sim, and it was a big deal to go to live, and then we went to live, and then we went there for like a month, and then the market stopped being favorable to me, and I, stopped, and I went through a long time, and now I'm back to where I can trade my live account, but I don't want to make a big deal again about going live, so when I do trade it live versus sim, I'm just not going to say anything, sorry. But it doesn't matter, because that's not the point. The point here is not to toot my own horn and say, oh, I'm such a great trader, look at how good I'm doing and how much money I'm making. This is primarily for community, right? And it's a great way for new people to get in. And whether or not hi Yoda, how's it going? I love it. So when you say something here in Discord now, it says it in YouTube too, which is really cool. We could turn it off if you want. Yeah, I can turn it off. Okay. Anyways, I want to see somebody putting their neck out and possibly going short. Anyways, the question was, are you trading sim or are you trading only one lot? So if I'm trading sim or live, I'm not going to tell you guys anymore, because it doesn't matter. What matters is you're seeing something. When it is sim, it's pretty much exactly like it would be live, because the sim is accurate enough, and it's useful to you to know what I'm thinking and how I traded it either way, right? And then as for one lot, yeah, there are certainly some advantages to trading multiple lots, but whenever I do it, I kind of have trouble. So I'm still want to master one lot, and if we continue to do this, now wouldn't be the time to size up, but when I get into a time when I size up, I will put on multiple contracts.
Around Brexit trade and the strength of the European economy, as well as a little bit of concern about growth abroad.
But when I do that, probably what you're going to see is me getting in with two, and then maybe taking profits along the way, So, yeah. But I'm kind of favor the all in, all out. I'm good enough at finding the right risk point and everything that, and even getting out. Although maybe I'm going to be wrong this time. It did kind of really slow down here. I think that there's enough balance here to justify getting out. I'm just looking at how many times it's ticked back and forth at 045. Looks like there's some significant balance there. It may sit here for a while and trade in this little range and then eventually push higher.
We can tolerate variations in inflation around 2% and not be too worried.
Hmm. Can you believe that we were down at 01 and I was like, oh, that's bad risk reward at 01. Sure, the nerves go crazy.
Just a heads up, just under 3 minutes time until the Canadian existing home sales reads month to month for December. Look for reading of -1%.
Boom, 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 ba-doom. Yeah, sure enough, they are going for more. Bum, bum, bum. $13.50 at 00. Oh yeah. Well, there's that big order at 08. Now, that's like at a quarter. So that's probably why it's there. Don't cry, Seth, it'll all be okay. Dude, my eyes water so much. I don't know why they're watering in particular today, but it's a problem I have ever since I started taking Strattera. My eyes water a lot. Man, should have been more patient, huh? And that's why I'm crying, because I can see that there's 2 more ticks in here and I took it off.
Seconds.
That offer has been there since Friday? The one at 08? No. Oh, you must be talking about the one in ZB. I think you're right. It has been there for a while. I can see it. I can see it that it was there yesterday.
Belgium October trade surplus revised to 722.4 million euros.
Was potentially there yesterday. I can't. It's
Still
not
waiting
letting
on
me
Canadian
scroll the
print.
way I want to. Has it?
-2.5%.
The ZB one at 00?
Canadian existing home sales falling more than expected of 1%.
Thin profile up in the air for gold if things get moving. Yeah, I definitely want to watch gold here because they've been very correlated. And it felt like yesterday when we moved down that the driver was gold for some reason. Okay. So there was an iceberg at 06 and we've ticked down. So if I had stayed in that one, I would definitely be getting out now. And there's even kind of, at this moment, you kind of have to wonder if you're still long, if you would even be able to get filled at 05 half. Actually, I think that there's a good chance that you could get filled at 05 half. And there was good momentum up. I think that there might be a little bit of wrangling around and people shuffling positions here that would allow you to get out. But the level 2 is kind of making me worried, like you wouldn't, that this could tick back down to here, you know? At first, the morning action in ZB looked like it was going to play out just like yesterday, but that bounce off of 145.16 gives pause. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering now if so this is where, with the restream bot, this is where I'm like, I think it's useful, because before sometimes people in Discord were like, what are we talking about? And you'd have to have them in both places, right? But with the bot, now you can see it everywhere. So you guys can talk to each other between YouTube and Discord, and it's kind of nice. So let's just give it a try for today, and then if you guys don't like it, we can change it. Yeah? What was I going to say? Well, I think that bad inflation number, for starters, and then coupled with Brexit, I think provides a healthy environment for risk off. You know what I mean? People wanting to hedge themselves against any potential downsides. Now the E-mini is moving around here. Is there like some earnings going on right now? Let's look up the earnings calendar again. What was today? Okay, so today, before market open, Delta, Community Trust Bank, bunch of big banks. Now, JP Morgan already did that one. Wells Fargo is already done. United Health. So I'm not quite sure why the E-mini is moving. Should have sold that 24. Yeah. I don't know. So the thing that's interesting about that was the way that the offers stacked behind it when we ticked it down. Because, you always tend to leave a little bit of liquidity behind you. So it's hard for that to be a signal unless it's something like really like, whoa, But they sure did leave it behind there. And I'm wondering now if they've established a range. Like maybe we just rotate between... it could maybe get as low as 035. So maybe we rotate between 035 and 06. There's a lot at 045 as well, which is where I got out. So I definitely did see something there, even though they went through it. Okay. Fine. We'll move the bot to the stream channel only. Let's just do him there. There we go. Okay. If that's what you guys want, then we'll do it. We'll accommodate that for sure. That's fine, because we got it, good, lets people filter out. So I think that actually is a good way to do it. Because then if people in Discord want to see it, they can look at the stream channel, and if they don't, they can just not look at that channel. They can mute it. Okay, cool. Reset it. Very interesting, though, the amount of volume. Now, there was some big icebergs up there at the top. Ooh, yeah, look at that monster at 22. That one makes me a little nervous.
Some equity news. Ford CEO saying the automaker is committed to the dividend.
Okay, I have not seen that. We have not seen that in a while. Oh, come on, I changed it. As long as we don't get that crypto idiot coming in, although I muted him. But as long as we don't get some spammer like that in YouTube. Ever want to just sell 2,000 contracts and then think, lol, never mind, right? Totally a spoof. 100%, that 100% had to have been a spoof. You put it on there, it didn't cause people to sell, and so we took it off, I feel like. Right? We have not. Okay, they did sell. They did sell. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Good morning, Ace. Good morning. I wonder.
Block by.
Ooh, my. Yeah, this is why I don't pay attention that much to resting liquidity. Can be spoofy and misleading. Yeah, well, I feel like if something shows up on the inside after we tick down, wait, when was it a boy sound? It's always that one has always been a girl. You can't change it. It's just an audio file that it plays, I think. Oh, the news guy? I didn't hear that. Was it a girl? Where was the block buy at? 045. And we are below that. Wonder, do I need to like, maybe if I just close this and reopen it? I don't think that it makes a difference, but the Brexit news guy is still a weak chin British guy. Got it. 21 block buy. How much? Just for fun. That's not quite like you. I guess, though, if the risk is correct, which it is, you probably get a little bit out of it just from the vibrations. Yeah, I don't know what you gotta do to get the Restream bot to update itself. I'll come in here just to double check it.
The GDT auction, the average selling price there $3,057 per metric ton. Just an equity side as well, we're just seeing Netflix shares move higher, last up about 4% pre-market. So GDP price index overall rising 4.2%.
It's only set to the stream channel. I don't know why it's not, I don't know. I also, what does it show? Oh no, it's perfect over here. Oh, good deal. Alright, never mind. Look, I already made you take,
prices for this GDT auction up 3%. Selling price there $2,777.
And it good morning, wrong.
Just in equity news as well, more from United Health. They expect their earnings above the first quarter consensus estimate, saying modestly stronger results expected.
What's your drawdown percentage? Well, so like the way I look at it is like if you're trading ZN and you draw down 16 ticks, you're doing something wrong. That's how I look at it. Even if it's really bad market action, you want to be able to, in the bad market action, you want to try and stay even at the very least. So, think that's what bothers people about it. I wonder, can I just turn it so if I...
Just looking at this Netflix movie given importance to FANGs, the share's up about 5%. Social media currently reporting they're raising the US prices for subscriptions by 13% to 18%, the most popular plan going to $13 per month from 11. Just looking into that.
Maybe if I turn off relay. Does that...
Just seeing actually, in fact, Associated Press here reporting Netflix raising their prices for 58 million US subscribers as costs rise, and confirming those figures we just gave to you, $13 per month from 11.
Okay.
And that's still cheaper than the rival HBO streaming service, which charges $15 per month.
Pancake time. Okay, so that fixed that. And so now if I go back in and I turn it back on, somebody say something in YouTube. Let's see if it only goes to the stream channel now. Maybe I can fix that. Yeah, because I was sending it to the equity indexes channel for a long time too. Well, I don't know. Now if I do it here, will it come out over here? We'll see. I wrong. We really came back. When was the original breakout? Was that I took was 03. So yeah. Ah, that doesn't work. Okay. Sorry, guys. It's okay. I can read everything. That's all that matters, right? Anyways. It should not be able to get below 030. Yeah. Told you I should have sold 24. Well, when you said that, I was like, yeah, you made 2 ticks. I guess that's okay. Now I'm like, oh, guys. Should have done it twice. I mean, the thing that kills me here is that they gave such a good exit signal at the top, didn't they? Big old iceberg at the top, and then it ticks down. You sell that. Except for that, I don't sell that. That's like a reversal after a pretty strong trend. Those don't happen so often. I mean, they happen, but it's less likely. You know what I mean? So if I did trade that, I probably wouldn't have held it past 045, if not 050, because there was 4,000 traded into 050. So you might have only taken 2 out of it. It's kind of like the risk reward on that trade is not do it by 16. You always mess around with 16. I hate that price. 16 is an iffy price to buy in at. Because they always go back and forth at it a lot. I feel like 16 can be a really good target, but it's not necessarily a good entry. Just my personal opinion. Well, 025 hasn't gone offer yet, so I'm not going to say that this level like straight up failed, but it's already not looking good. It's already not looking good. For us to move down this much, I really wonder what the E-mini is going to do now in 8 minutes. And I think that it's probably best. I don't want to make the mistake that I made yesterday, because remember yesterday I bought like right on the E-mini open because I was seeing what I thought was some position defense, and it was just the ticking around from the E-mini. So I'm just going to stay out here. So what I forgot about this picture here. What was he saying? He was saying that below 122.4, you got a pretty thin profile all the way down. Actually, mine doesn't quite look the same. I don't know. My profile doesn't quite look the same, but the 30.5 might be a good target. The weekly options board looks like it's pointing down in Treasuries. I would expect it to be pointing lower in Treasuries. But that number that just got released kind of changes things a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Bad bot. Yeah, I turned him off.
In equity news, Apple losing a bid to overturn the $302 million verdict won by VeerNet. Total launching a sale of its offshore gas fields in the Netherlands industry, according to banking sources. The sale to raise at least $300 million to $400 million range, according to Reuters sources.
You know what though? Because I want to see all of the channels in one spot. See, here's my problem. So I want to be able to see everything here.
China to unveil draft rules on new tech board listings soon, the CSJ reports.
I would like to see the equity indexes and interest rates, but I don't want to see them like I want to see them all in here, but I don't want the bot to necessarily send them both ways. So I think that to fix that, so I turned the bot off, I turned relay mode off. So I think that we're going to have to keep it like that and not have the relay bot, although I would like to have it in YouTube. But I think that we just should be able to set it up to like which sites it will relay. You know what I mean? They need to have a setting to say, it should relay stuff between YouTube and Twitch, but it shouldn't relay things from Discord. Right? LPTTA calls. Oh, I think that he meant to say a lot of a lot of calls and puts clustered at 146 even, which is why there's a big offer chilling there. Okay. Yes, probably. Oh, man, that's really good. But there's always one at evens, and you can only buy the options at certain strikes. And that must be why there's always big orders at those particular locations. That just like, I feel so dumb that I'm only just now realizing that it probably has to do with the options. Learning stuff every day, guys. Yeah, Uzi, when you look at the options, how are you doing that? Are you using the CME tool, or does your platform have a nice tool built into it? 3 minutes to equity open. I was kind of looking at getting music too, but I think that'll take a little bit more work, because there isn't actually a lot of like streams that I could just like put on a classical stream or something like that. You've got to like download all of the royalty free music yourself. I just go to bar chart website. Okay. I really like to look at that open interest thing on the CME website, but I don't look at it very often. I've never seen bar chart. I'm gonna look that up. Options. Market overview, maybe. Maybe I need to do it like, maybe I need to go to Xeon first. 10-year note. Commitment of trader positions. That's cool. Yeah, why don't you oh, except for the well, yeah, just post the link in YouTube. But you know, put like a space between the .com or whatever so that it doesn't think that it's a link. Okay, so here's the open. The initial impulse is buying. They've kind of been fading these initial things though. Okay. Tiny little run there. I'm making a new Spider-Man movie. Why is this down there? Okay. Lots of bubbles up here at the high. Mm-hmm. Well, it made a higher high and a bunch of stops when that went. I don't know. But there's still the numbers that it's reading when it trades through are too high. Like when you see a stop run, you might see like 50s and 60s, but it was 200s all the way through there. So everybody that was on the offer got filled short. Hmm. I think the cold, dry air is getting to me. My lips are starting to get chapped and all sorts of stuff like that.
Just a piece from Fitch Ratings saying global home price growth under pressure, and says more countries will face challenges to home price growth in 2019.
So they're still buying, but they're still fading it. And there's a strong bid there in the 10-year. Oof. The 30-year is not quite in the right spot for long.
That full piece on Fitch Ratings global home price growth under pressure is on our board and on Twitter.
Do you see also the mini moving up pretty strong and steady pace, but the treasuries are not reacting to it at all? Very, very curious. Okay. Oh, you put brackets around it. That's smart. Okay. Let me try. Slash. Why did it not? Oh, and, there was an extra space in there. Delete it. There we go. Ah. There they going again. I'm a little this market action, even though I'm not in a position, I don't care which way it goes, but this market action is making me a little nervous. That's really strong buying, but so much selling along the way. So many bubbles. Usually you only see the bubbles right at the beginning, but it's still going, and it's all along the way. You see that? Oops. Okay, so there's a big order at 9.5. Kind of wonder. Now 0.15 is definitely a price that I did not think that they would get to, and you're getting into a spot where if you wanted to buy, it's really, really good risk reward because you're below the point of control. And keep my eye out. I wonder if there will be another big iceberg somewhere. I'm not sure if you'd get filled at 0.15 now, so I'm gonna buy. Oh, that pulled. Okay. My price is behaving the way I want it to. E-Mini's trying to push for a new high, but isn't quite making it. Ooh, they made it by a tick, and they're fading that. And they're fading that. Oh, but we get... keeps going. Okay, so we should keep that in mind, but note that they may start be running out of steam. I don't know if... So I expected 0.15 to possibly go off for a little bit. So I'm not too panicked yet. But I definitely want to see them buy back into 0.15 soon. Or I'm just gonna bail. Okay, good. Okay. So 0.15 is a little bit more balanced than I would hope. But you're not really getting anything selling into 0.1 either. So I don't know. It looks like that sellers may start pushing. Ah, see they're at 0.95. There was a buyer there and they pushed through him. Okay. Nope. Kind of went more to the buy side again. It's interesting the moves in ES that ZN considers to switch the bid and offer based off of. The ones that they do and the ones that they don't. So like that downtick there in the E-mini caused them to buy it up. I don't want to say caused them, but it was correlated. I want to give 16 a chance, but I'm not trusting this range. Well, this trend in equities is very bizarre and quite strong. They are at a price that maybe they could stop, but they might just go up and break that overnight high. It's not looking... But you can see that the Treasuries seem to be skeptical about it. They're taking a step up, but the Treasuries aren't really moving. At least they're not really moving to the downside. They made a little bit of a higher high there and then immediately came off. So I'm not sure that the trend is over, but I do see some signs that the trend in equities is weakening, that they're going to need to have a more significant pullback at some point. Just the question is that going to happen before they go for a new high? See, they bid that up way more. No, I don't want any people crashing my stream. I don't really care if people watch or not. Good deal. Filled. Excellent. Very happy. Very happy. Uzi says he's going to give it a shot. When I do put two contracts on like that, it makes me freaking nervous. Probably shouldn't do it, but I'm okay to do it because I've been so profitable over the past month. Yeah, enjoy getting blocked. No. I don't want spam, buddy. I appreciate the offer, but gonna get rid of ya. There we go. Don't need spam. I would love it if 1 million people went and signed up for my Patreon, of course. And I really appreciate that we have 16 people watching right now. I really love the community that we've been building, and that's like the main point of doing this now at this point. But I really don't care if there's like 1 person watching or 200 people watching. That's not the point, is not to get like the most number of people. And if we were massively successful, it would perhaps be a warning sign that there is some sort of imbalance in the market, because that would not be normal for us to be that popular. What we're doing is really boring. It's not quality entertainment, I don't think. So why would there be that many people watching? So to have some bot come in and make a ton of people to come and watch would just be like pointless. But the Patreon is a different story, right? Because the Patreon will make you money. So there's a good number of people that subscribe to the Patreon, and I expect that they will continue to be there, and that will continue to grow a bit, very, very slowly as the crypto market bottoms. And then I'm sure that when the crypto market is just like exploding out the outside, if that ever happens again, that the Patreon will become really popular. And I'll say, okay, the indicator says sell, and everybody will yell at me and get mad. What the hell? That is the best show on YouTube here. No one is streaming scalping. Well, it is. I mean, it is a good point. I appear to be the only one stupid enough to stream scalping. So they're acting here as though they think maybe equities are going to go for it again, because it's still behaving balanced. Man, no fill yet, huh? This 015 is holding a little bit better than before, but you know, this 02 went off and it didn't stay there for very long. It's too much correlation trading going on here. I don't know. You gotta be careful when it's the correlation. Sometimes it's good to take the quick profit, I think. I think what I really, because honestly, what is the most entertaining thing is probably to watch me get tilted. Right. There are some videos, I don't really keep track of them. Ooh, that was a lot of selling that just came through. Oh, actually, wasn't that many contracts, but it was a really weird wave of selling there in the 5-year. I don't keep track of where they are, but man, there are some videos way back where I get super tilted, and it's funny to watch. I think we should go back and make a montage of me just staring at the screen, despondent, and watching my trades get stopped out. That would be entertaining. And some of my for some reason, some of the days where I was doing really, really poorly, there happened to be tons of people watching. Those were the days where we'd get over 20 people. Equities looking pretty balanced here. They're not sure if they're gonna go for a new high or not. I mean, I like my long in Treasuries, but I still see a decent possibility that the equities go for the high of the overnight high. Yeah. It's interesting to see what other people go through while scalping. So yeah, win or loss, it's fun. Yeah. It's just, you know, especially when you're looking at Treasuries, it tends to be pretty slow, right? It's something that you'd have to watch like the whole way through to appreciate. But you know what? People do watch. I'm always really surprised at how many. Geez. Okay. So that was a really big iceberg that they just went through there. There's some big time profit taking in equities. They are right on the edge of my stop.
Just make everyone aware.
Got out of the way on that.
At the top of the hour that Draghi is up again, although he is presenting on 2017 annual reports in Strasbourg.
I was literally about to click out there at 015 and then it just went anyways. Okay, so they made a new high and there was a lot of absorption at it and they've already backed it off. That I don't think that is a good sign for equities. And they've faded it this whole time. That might be a head fake. And treasuries are still buying it at a 1. Man, I don't know. Okay, we do got to keep in mind though that we went lower low, so we need equities to like bust out through the bottom of this here, or we need to get out with a small loss. It looks negative. The cumulative delta is starting to go negative. Well, then they sold it anyways. Oh, that's interesting. So the thing that I don't like about this, I feel like I've made a mistake here, because my stop is right at the open price in treasuries. Now normally that price holds, but they could still like go through it and flip, right? So it's like a bad place to have a stop, I think. Okay, here's a big order showing up in the equities. Can kind of see buyers trying to hold it here and not having a lot of, not making a lot of headway. Okay, but that 1.5 is not pulling at all. Sellers are definitely starting to try and push now. You can see the cumulative delta slowly starting to move down. So sellers are initiating selling at market. Is this whole thing just going to come back? Yeah. I was just thinking that too. Miher jog. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little bit disjointed of a pattern, but it does look like a true head and shoulders. They are gonna have to break the neck before it's confirmed for sure. It's gonna have to be somewhere around 96. I really hate being in a trade and being dependent on the E-mini doing something to make money in treasuries. It would be better to just trade the E-mini in that case, but of course, there are reasons why I don't trade the E-mini. I mean, they're holding okay bids at L1. They're holding okay bids at L1, but they should be able to hold O1 half, frankly, because we were at O1 half, O2 for a really long time, and was at almost the same place in equities too, frankly. So, and there has been quite a bit of selling through here in ZN. Okay. I think that sellers took their foot off the brake. There was a little bit of covering. We really need to see the sellers come back for this to happen. Okay. Hmm. Some strong buying right there. Yeah. Jeez. All right, well, I don't think that these equities are going to give it up. There's a big order there. Here's a bubble. Okay, did it take me out at -2? Boo. Look at the way that it ticked. Do we have... So interesting that nothing's coming out of the squawk. There is still crazy absorption. They're just running them over. You can see that they went down and stopped me out, and now they're like right back where they was. Oh, it was at 015, and now we're at 315. 315 was that point of control, though. Where are we at on a more weekly basis? Ooh, that's like a significant breakout that they're having in equities today. Something like that. Think of better. Okay. David Dios talking about a book that sounds interesting. Also sounds like maybe it's spam. But I don't have the interest in looking at it right now. Okay. This is going to come back. I think there's a really good probability that this comes back. The absorption is just really extreme. They stopped him out. Now that they stopped him out, there's not going to be enough people to buy. No way. It's got to come back a little bit at least. Maybe back to 2600. Why do I still have that on there? I don't see it. It coming back or the absorption. So like I'm talking about this right here. 1466 by 1982. That is big time pivot. And you can see on the way up too, ever since the open, there was lots of bubbles, right? So they faded it. Then they stopped people out. Faded it again on the stop run. So now at that point, at this point, you don't have a whole lot of people short in the market anymore. So it only makes sense that they're going to have to sell it a little bit, as the winners of that had to take profits and people take it short. I don't know how far back it'll come, but that could just be a pullback. It may be this 04 is as far as it gets, and you just see some distribution around here before it goes up higher. But when you get, especially with something like that, it has to stop for a little bit, because that's too much imbalance. Okay. That was an interesting move there in Treasuries. You saw a little bit of a move there in the E-mini, and then this did something, but then it's held it. Oh, Adrian says he's reading that book too. You're getting volume on both sides now in this one, so that's kind of like a... kind of means that the icebergs around here might not necessarily matter. Oh, that is a lot of... that's a pretty big one.
From US Treasury, Lighthizer says little progress in last week's talks with China on structural issues, IP protections, and US Senator Chuck. Well, that's from US Senator Chuck Grassley saying this. US Lighthizer saw little progress in last week's talks with China. Lighthizer made positive comments to him in Friday meeting about Chinese soybean purchases. It says Chinese officials are due to visit Washington for more trade talks in a couple of weeks.
Saw little progress, huh? That was crazy. Well, I'm a little disappointed that it come all the way back that quickly, but something like that, the E-mini is not gonna like that. Is his comments being presented correctly? They saw little progress. Does that mean they didn't saw little progress? Like, are they saying not a whole lot got accomplished? Or are they saying, we had a little progress. It's coming along. We're going to be negotiating again next week. You know what I mean? That was funny the way that one went, because I saw it like I was trying to buy it and I saw it go bid and I clicked it and it didn't get filled. And then it just went zoop. Yeah. Curious that it's not just going. Algo's now buying on soybean broken telephone. Hmm. Okay, E-mini is back to where they were. And you've got a pretty ugly setup here. If they break this. Because before we were like, if they break this, they're going to go back to the open price. But now they've had a pop and everything. And they come back. Ooh. Ugly. Ugly setup here indeed if they actually go for it. It was Chuck Grassley was the one that said it. So a lot of this buying in the E-mini was because of China talks. Okay, equities are saying they're going to hold this level for a moment.
Block sell.
Shit. And it comes right back, and equities are failing the level now. Guys, I don't know. I guess the fact that I don't know means that I need to reduce my risk. I find it really interesting that as the E-mini broke down there, that Treasuries actually moved down. Something fishy going on. May just be people trying to stop you out of trades, though. Like, that's the weird thing. Seen that? And they bounced off of the VWAP. I don't think so, but we'll see. Besides, you don't know if it's live or sim or not. You're not supposed to. Obviously, it's him. I already said that, right? But the thing about me is that at this point, it's become so habitual that when it goes against my habits, like I think it did right there, I just it doesn't do the right thing. You know what I mean? I okay. Anyways, the situation here is that I still want to be long. It's gone 2 ticks against me, which I don't like. But it's really volatile, so you have to expect that. You have to give it a little bit more room. I think we could still move up here. I mean, I think that the E-mini is going to have to go and revisit the lows of the day now after that. I mean, gosh. That was a lot of buying on the way up. And a lot of fading it and stops. It's just like it's in the perfect position to flop all over the place because of the way that it got there. You really somebody should go and smack Chuck Grassley across the head for saying that when he did. Because it's just not, bad timing for markets. Bad timing for markets because the E-mini was already in a very unbalanced state, and you just said something that was the exact opposite of what the action was. So now you're creating even more volatility and a pretty good chance at something that just completely flushes lower, is how I feel right now. The problem, though, is that even though the E-mini went down, Treasuries are moving down still. So I am so screwed. Fine. Right there. And get out right as it flips. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Let's see if I can fix that. Man. All right, I guess I'm married to it now. I'm just thinking, what if they're selling it because they're thinking that that China's not going to buy as many bonds? E-mini's still kind of doing this all over the place. When I had that... Oh, actually, I never had that, did I? I never had it. I tried to get filled. See, if I had actually been able to get long on that one, maybe I did, and it's just not showing me correctly because I'm not getting an MAE MFE off of that one. Maybe it's because I had 2 contracts on. I think that maybe I had some. I don't know. See, that 30.5 is not holding a bid. They're not hitting into 31. Even when the treasuries sell. Sorry, even when the E-mini sells. It could flip around at any moment, but I'm not liking... Okay. In retrospect, when it failed zeros and I stopped out of that trade, it wasn't so bad, except for that I wasn't able to reduce my risk. So I'm not even going to say that was like a bad trade per se. It just didn't go my way. I'm liking this one. I'm really liking that. Bid is puffing up now. And there's a big old honking huge thing down there in the 5-year. This is like screaming we're ready to go. Ah, they tick down. The E-mini. Yeah. But the problem with that is that they've already broken the neckline for a head and shoulders pattern. It's got all of the classic signs for it, but there's no neck break. So it's really weird. Whoops. Unplugged my headphones there. Or there was a neck break and it was rejected going back up. Possibly. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, there was a little bit of buying there, wasn't there? Ah, shit. Guys. I was talking about being tilted. This is fucking tilted right here. Man. I keep seeing the trade. Keep seeing the long, and it's just not going for whatever reason. They're toying with it. And I feel like they are continually trying to stop people out. See it going. Now the E-mini is starting to get wild. I think that some people are skeptical about the news. I think that's the only real explanation here. Is that people think that it's overdone and they want to get back to buying. Except for that, I kind of felt like that the buying before was a little bit suspect to begin with because somebody kept selling it and selling it. Maybe somebody knew, though, that they were going to do this to the markets. Maybe Chuck Grassley is engaging in insider trading, went short, and then released that news. Ooh, that's a conspiracy theory. Would that be illegal? I don't know if that would be considered illegal or not for a senator to do that. If he knows that information about the trade negotiations and then trades on it before it goes public, I'm not sure that counts as non-public information. Because it is public information. It's just not everybody's gotten it yet, and there's not like a set release for it. So if that was the case, the guy was probably sitting there like, come on, Chuck, what are you waiting for? Release the news so I can get my short. It's just, there's so much. Well, actually, now that I think about it and I'm looking at things, I don't think I'm seeing things straight because I want to say that there's buying pressure. But when you look at the cumulative delta, there really isn't. The E-mini is kind of in the middle of a range here. 30 AV is definitely a price. I'll put some eyes there. But it's kind of like I'm waiting for the buy and it never comes, and then when they sell it, it goes down like 2 ticks. And then it almost immediately recovers. So it's like they're just pulling it to stop people out and not actually moving it. I'm also not quite sure I understand why the E-mini is picking this spot to be sit there. So I think you would want to come at least to 25.90. They didn't get that far. Is Bitcoin the future? I mean, there's going to be further developments in the crypto space for sure. But I think it's going to be a long time before we see another bull market in cryptocurrencies. Several years. Okay. You see, there it is again. Just not going. Well, the problem that you've got in the crypto space right now is that because you had such a strong run up, you have a lot of people interested in it. And you have a lot of people working on the assumption right now that, of course, Bitcoin is going to come back down just like it did after Mt. Gox, but eventually price will recover, and if I buy it again, it's going to go up again. There's lots of people doing this, right? And the problem is that because of that, there's still too much buying. Bitcoin is not getting to a place where you have a strong risk-reward equation in your favor for buying. It's not getting there. It's still somewhat overvalued. And so because of that, it's going to take a lot longer for cryptocurrencies to get to that buy location where you can really have a true price recovery, right? Because what tends to happen is that the trend stays intact until you get enough of an imbalance that it has to flip around. And because there are so many people trying to bottom fish in Bitcoin, you never get it. See this? I should not be letting it do this. But I feel very strongly that it's going to come down. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing more of the imbalance that came in the E-mini. They're not selling it. What's with that? I don't know. So if you go to my Patreon page that I have linked in the video description, I post some charts in there, and then you'll get you'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying. Normally when my indicator gets to like 40 or 50, that's when you get the buy. That's when like everybody's been washed out of the market, and we're still at like 85. So we're still kind of like, we're not like overbought, but we're still kind of on the higher side of value. So that's why I feel that way. Is trading your job? I have a day job, so I only do this. I'm actually going a little bit longer than I normally would, because I really want to see the E-mini just fall apart, and it's not doing it. It's making me sad. But I'm a computer programmer, so I have a day job, and I usually leave before 9 o'clock my time. So in the next 30 minutes here, I will shut this and go and lick my wounds. Man. Okay. So I'm noticing a little bit of a change here now. I'm not seeing the market orders and treasuries flip around yet, though. They're holding 29.5. I'm seeing a little bit of selling in in equities. I think that they might want to try and bears might want to try and make a run here. Like, I don't think that this, I may not be able to wait around for it to happen, but and they may stop me out before it happens, but I do not think that equities can hold this level. I think that they have to go below 25.90. Hmm. Hmm. Notice them fading it. This is kind of where it's like, because of the way that it's moving, it's really hard for me to say that I have a good risk point set here. So that's kind of one of the things that kind of makes you question yourself, like, it should have gone. Should be going long down here at 29 half, where there's a 6K iceberg and blah, 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 right? But so you get to this point where the monkey is like really freaking out in your head, and you kind of have to go with your plan from before the trade, even though I don't know if it was a very good plan. If this pulls out, I'll consider myself very, very lucky. But I don't think. Funny that the day that I decided that maybe it's okay to put on 2 at some points is the day that it does this. And does something that I don't understand why treasuries are moving down. I just don't understand. There's not even cumulative delta isn't moving it, right? It had to have been the market liquidity that pushed us down here. And it kind of did it in jumps, like they pulled orders and stuff. So why? Somebody thought, that news, it doesn't matter, and they still want to do their thing, or what? I don't know. Seems peculiar to me. It's not really building a strong bid very well. Though it did get over 1500. There was a bubble there in E-mini as well. Okay, that's a little better. Nope. And that builds a much stronger offer. Nope, it didn't take. It didn't take both of them out, guys. Fuck. Okay. We're gonna try this one more time. Because that was a real different change there. Getting late. Better generate my charts. Really, that short probably didn't make much sense. Some of those shorts probably didn't make much sense because I did it, as there was still some momentum down. I was trying to call it too early. I think so. I think I tried to call them too early. I just made some bad choices, guys. So today is a great example of how not to trade. There you go. I've been doing really well the past month, so of course I had to have a really awful day at some point. Of course, iceberg at 29. Wow. Wow. So it's going to be a 1500. Seen it before. Okay. Hmm. And it goes off her. Jeez, guys. I don't know what's going on. He's just sitting there like, I'm gonna wait for you to go. I know that you only have 10 minutes, Seth, and then I'm gonna rip it right up to the highs of the day. You watch. Yeah. Wait, why is it not? Uh, okay, so I pretty much hit my risk limit now today. That didn't stop out correctly because I didn't have it to stop set right. ZV is really close to the low of the day. Was I selling before? I was not. Well, that's interesting. I've been looking for this to reverse the whole time. Okay. Let's post these notes. I don't know what that was, guys. Man. But obviously, that was bad. That was -8 on 2 contracts. The day that I said it was okay to do 2, it was -8. So now, of course, tomorrow I can't do 2. Well, maybe I can do 2 and for like wiggling around a little bit, but see, this right here is just like it should stop here. I don't know why. I don't know. Let's just see that sit. But this is just screwing around now. I'm gonna type in my note.
UK PMA spokesman says there are no plans for May to travel to Brussels on Wednesday.
Yeah, okay, so sure enough, I take my eye off of it, and that was not the spot either. So I am now in 100% fading a trend that is showing no signs of stopping, even though there was a huge delta divergence there at 28.5 when they bought through the iceberg. And equities are actually looking for highs again. So I'm wondering if this was a trend day. Somebody had to buy some shit, and it was going to be like this all day anyways. And that news was just kind of a little bit of a blip, and now they're like, well, we still need to buy it. Doesn't make sense to me. Not everything has to make sense, though. Obviously, when I have 3 trades in a row, that's when I stop. So this one was just a little experiment just to see if I could redeem myself by seeing the spot here at 28.5. Well, that was a significant uptick. And it didn't hold. And not a huge spit at 28. Equities does look like they kind of overextended themselves a little bit. They came down. It goes bid. Strong bid.
Italy's 5-star says ECB supervision of banks will cause grave damage to Italy.
One of the problems you got here is that if it does tick up to 28.5, there's a pretty ugly order there at 29. We won't want to see if that pulls if we tick up. Today they haven't been tempting fate when they were moving to the downside. Remember, we bought up here, bought and sold it way up here. It's kind of moved a lot today. It's moved a lot today. So we got an okay trade to the upside, and then that trade almost completely washed out. And then we're at the open price. So I took a long there that didn't really make a lot of sense. That's when I started not trading well. Then we got the news, and it just was a blip, and it reversed itself. In treasuries, at least. I don't know. The market seemed so happy that they were making trade progress. And for them to just be like, the talks aren't going very well is just really, should be really disappointing. And the market is not really reacting to it the way that I thought. Especially when we had that buy, and I don't know. It does show me that I did get some favorable excursions on these other ones. This other trade. I don't know what it was on that one. I think that was the one that I had when it went up, but it's not telling me what it was. But I had some profit in there, I guess, that I should have taken.
Did you see in the US Treasury to auction 30 billion in the 8-week bills and 40 billion in the 4-week bills? Draghi speaking here, saying credibility of the ECB rests on its independence. ECB Draghi there commenting at European Parliament in Strasbourg. Draghi saying recent economic developments have been weaker than expected. Uncertainties notably related to global factors remain prominent, and says a significant amount of monetary policy stimulus is still needed.
I did not realize that Draghi was going to be talking
that one. Then ECB's Draghi says significant amount of monetary policy stimulus is still needed.
There's an iceberg there still at 28.5. It's 5K iceberg.
That full Draghi speech is up on our board.
Nope. All right. Well, I don't have any more time, so I don't know why it's not doing it, but maybe it recovers later. I don't know. Maybe Treasuries just keep pushing down. This is a very curious action. All right. Well, it happens sometimes. Really should have reduced my risk earlier, and it sucks. It really sucks, guys. I feel like shit right now. Yeah. Why are you still watching? Oh, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.